All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome everybody to another night of the ministry. As we continue to read the Christ letters, these has been a blessing to me, and I hope it has been a blessing to you as it helps us to come into our higher self. That was Christ's true teaching when he walked the earth. He wanted us to know the power that lives within us. And I know the way we start, we're not, it just opens so many doors to who we truly are. We started just learning about ourselves, and it's taken us deeper and deeper and deeper. And we're here for the ride. If we understand consciousness, if we understand who God is, it is limitless. There's no limit. There's no one way. There's no um, my way or your way. It's just his way. And as the Bible once told us, there's higher heights and deeper depths. And we're just on this path to see where it takes us and to understand who we are. And I hope as you listen to these letters, we read these letters once a week on this channel. If you're finding us for the first time, please go to Deep Ministry and we're currently on letter 5. I'm reading it. I'm going to read a different version of the Christ letters this week because my other computer crashed and I can't get that version of it. I'm waiting to get it off. And this one says letter 7, but technically, and this one seems longer than my original one, but we'll see as we go. So, um, so if you find these letters and anything you've heard that that resonates with your spirit, please. We don't not only are we hearers, but we also doers of the word. And it came in my spirit. I'm gonna try and start with a minute of being present, because it seems as if all this that we've heard so far, in order to manifest, in order for us to get our blessings, we have to know, our belief have to be centered around the power that lives within us, and also being present, calm in our thoughts, our ego thoughts, calm in our thoughts, and focus on the present moment. Like there's a scripture says, in his presence, there is fullness of joy. When we're in this present moment, we're in the presence of God. Everything stops. Everything stops. And when we say being in his presence, we were meaning calm in our thoughts and focus on where we are, focus on the moment. All we got to do is listen to ourselves breathe. Listen to yourselves breathe. Ignore every thoughts that come in for a minute. And I know my guy, I forgot his name now, says it only takes 17 seconds. 17 seconds. But tonight, I'm going to do a minute of just focusing on self, being in the present moment. And I was thinking about this yesterday, and I heard someone says, this being in the present moments, rewrites, not rewrites, it's like you get a new pathway. It's like the old if you're foggy, anything going on in your mind neurologically, it's like a total clearance. New pathways neurologically is formed if you try to do this more often. Okay? And when you need anything, this is the path you go to. You stay in that moment, that present moment. and just be grateful and just know that whatever you need is shall be given unto you. Okay, so tonight I'm gonna set my watch for a minute, and we're just gonna be in the present moment. We're just gonna close our eyes and allow. I'm just gonna close our eye. Why is it saying 56 minutes? Reset. Mm, yeah, just for a minute. Timer. Just for a minute. Wait, we're just gonna. Isis, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good,
Yeah.
teacher.
Yeah, so we're just gonna close our eyes for a minute and just be present before we start our reading tonight for a minute. Okay? All right, we'll start now. Okay. That's it.
I had to keep telling myself, I'm present. I'm
Yeah.
present. I'm
hmm
present.
Be present, be present, be present. You see how hard it is?
Mm,
It is
mm.
hard. So we just have to practice being present. Calm that thoughts down. That thought always is so intruding.
I
Oh,
think they said we have like 50,000 thoughts per day.
oh, it's a lot.
A lot.
It's a
Yeah.
lot. And these thoughts are conscious. These thoughts are beings. They just want waiting for you to put the right emotions with them, and then they'll manifest in our lives. That's how we create our reality.
Mm.
Yeah, that's how we create our reality. Okay. All right. So we're going to go into reading the Christ letters. Yep. So, yeah, thank you all. And I hope yeah, you're practicing these things. You're practicing being present. Um that's the most powerful one, just being present. When you wake up in the morning, I try before I even do anything to just take a minute, close my eyes, being present. And you could also visualize what you want to happen during the day. You can visualize how grateful you are. Just a minute with just you and that divine realm. what you want to have done. Oh, you want to feel what your expectation, visualize it for that day and feel it and expect it when you get up, you know, expect it. Visualize your day when you go before we go to bed. I know sometimes we have a habit of first thing we see is our phone, and the last thing we see is our phone. So if we could just spend some time, a minute, I mean, a minute in our realm, it is everything. Even if we can't get to that minute, 30 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it just reprogramming our mind to understand who we are, understand who we are. I have to say, a couple of days ago, I had just such a perfect day because it's like I was prepared for the day. No hiccups. It went better than even what I could ask or think because I went with great expectation and that it's going to be a good day and whatever I'm going to do in my day, I'm going to get favor. I'm going to be prosperous, and another thing too, try to lift your mind about above low energy things. Lift your mind. If we're fearful, we're in low energy. You know, it in spite of what comes during our day, in spite of that low energy, that people calling you to just push your button, we can't do it all the time, but try to rise above it.
Yeah.
You know, just rise above it, right above it. You want people messing with you, and you want they get their karma. You rise above it. Keep your mind so high. Keep your mind way high. Don't let them pull you in the dirt. Everything is energy. Everything is energy, everyone. Everything is energy. It's energy and consciousness.
Yes.
That's it. Okay, so this is what we're going to talk about. And the last time we spoke about, let's see how this one works. This is a new PDF form. This is
I heard you said this is different version.
Yeah, it's still the original version, but it's different from the one I had because my old computer died, and I'm trying to get it fixed to get my stuff off it. Yeah, but yeah, let's see how it goes. I read it. It's the same wording as the previous one, but it has more pages. It's supposed to be 9 letters. I don't know why it has more pages. Okay, so where we left off the last time we read the Christ letters, last week we went back a little to
We went
letter
back to
four.
school. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to letter four, where I just wanted to go back over the creation story. Everything I'm seeing, it's like the universe wants us to understand this Adam and Eve story. If you find this message, please, nothing is physical about the Adam and Eve story. It's all energy, consciousness. The tools of this realm is electricity and magnetism. You can see it physically as Adam and Eve. You can see it as Father, Mother, God. You can see it as electricity and magnetism, male and female. It's just the tools. Everything is created out of that. Everything is. So if you want atom, the splitting, when that Big Bang, when they call it Big Bang, the Christ letter call it a poof. It's just energy reach such a height that they have to separate.
Yes.
Electricity and magnetism was in an equilibrium, or you could say this atom was just in equilibrium for so long. And that energy reach and height, because even though they're just there looking still, the nature of who they are, the nature of electricity is to create, the nature of our Father is to create, the nature of magnetism, our mother, is to form, is to give form to everything. That's who they truly are. So even though they were there in equilibrium before creation started, they just reach a heightened state of energy. And that's what they call the Big Bang, and that's what they call whatever. And this chaos happened. And as Bill Donahue said, it's the splitting of the atom. It creates Eve. So it's not mean that they were separated like how we understand separated here. So because electricity is still just like how we are, as I mentioned last week. I'm a woman, I still have progesterone. I still have energy.
Mhm.
Not energy.
Progesterone and testosterone.
I have progesterone.
Testosterone and
What's that one for the
estrogen.
woman?
Estrogen.
Estrogen. I still have
Uh-huh.
estrogen. I have estrogen is the dominant, but there's still progesterone. That's that's from the man, and the man is the same thing. Progesterone is the dominant in the man, but estrogen is, they also have, men have estrogen too. So when we said separate, it doesn't mean like totally separate, because they have different role, but they still use some aspect of the male. And what came to me the other day too is, as the Christ letter describe what take place at conception. It seems as if that I-ness, the role, that creative energy, the men play is in that heightened ecstasy in the sperm. It takes the form of that I-ness, which forms our soul, and we're going to go into that today. And the soul is, the essence of the soul is planted in the womb, and it's the woman who determines everything. That's her role. She creates, she put form to everything. She put form to everything visible. That's her role. That's the dominant the woman is, especially in this physical realm.
Okay.
She, you want man, it's up to her, and I heard this a long time ago. It's up to what how the woman feel at the time of conception, whether she decides to create a male or female without even knowing it.
Wow.
Yeah, that she's just a creator. She she just put form to everything. That's who she is. And that's what the womb is. And that microcosm, as we talked about, that small womb is just a microcosm of the huge womb that we live in, why they call her Mother Earth, Mother Nature.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's her territory. That doesn't mean that electricity, Father doesn't have a role. He still has a role. So we have to take our 3D mind out of all this, because in other realms we're not separated. Androgynous, they call it, male and female in one body.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's only this 3D realm we're separated. And if you read the Nag Hammadi text, The Nagamadi text even give you a glimpse. And I think I'm gonna go into the book of Enoch after we finish the Christ letters.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, and I think the Nagamadi text give you a glimpse of how it happens in those realms. You still can't just have a baby without the consent of, and it's not having babies like how we do, the consent of that everything is gender in the universe, a male and a female aspect of it. Everything is gender. Everything is mind. All right. Yes. So that's what we spoke about last week. And also before the week before that, we did talk about rape and we did talk about let me see. Yes, sexual relationships. So it's how important it is to for partners to really love one another. We can't just take sexual intercourse so casually as we do in this world. Sperm have a life of itself, emotions, sexual emotions, everything have a life of themselves. That's what we were taught. And these are the things that go in, manifest in our realm and create all this kind of abuse and all kind of stuff. And my little young man there, you tell you, the more these things you do, um, it's like those are probably the devil or the ghost you want to call them. So if you have thought forms that you see how we keep thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, those are consciousness. We're divine beings. So if you dare think, all right, let's see. Oh, if someone keep telling you, oh, ugly you are, you keep thinking you're ugly and ugly and ugly, ugly and ugly. Those thought forms keep piling up. They keep piling up in the spiritual realm. We have to understand this is not the only realm. And all those sexual energy, you keep going around having sex with this person, this person, this person, this person. And those are the things that stop you from probably getting a husband. Those are hindrances.
Mm-hmm.
Those are hindrances. I mean, you're grown, you could do what we do, but for every cause, there's an effect.
True.
Yeah. So that's why this ministry teaches you to be accountable for yourself. It's not, no one's doing it except you. Whatever is happening in our lives, um, it's us. And that makes me think so that a clearing of the mind has to take place, because all those times we think, oh, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke. Those start piling up. Those things start piling up. Those thoughts, you see yourself in the worst way. Those stuff pile. Your thoughts are emotions. Your thoughts are electric. Your thoughts are electric. With the right emotion to those thoughts, you create that thing, that effect in your life. So the thing is, I did a video, balance those thoughts. When you find yourself thinking about those thoughts, balance them. I am blessed. I am highly favored. I am rich. I'm beautiful. I am beautiful. Balance those thoughts. Okay, so that's what we spoke about the week before. So tonight we're going to start with consciousness energies, and it's going to go over some of the same things that we're talking about. It says you must also understand and accept that conscious energies are energies as real and active as are the energies of heat and sound. So that's what I just talked about. These thoughts, even though we're not speaking anything, these thoughts, they are real. And they can manifest things in your lives. Just as sound waves can penetrate certain substance, so do the consciousness energies of one person infect, like a virus, the consciousness energies of another mind with their own brutal tendencies. Mhm. I'll write this. Okay, consciousness energies of one person infect, like a virus, the consciousness energies of another mind with their own brutal tendencies. And that's what I keep thinking too, in the homes, how much your thoughts affect your children, your husband, you know, your environment. Someone's in your family sick and you're all negative and you're all low energy, you know. There's
Mm-hmm.
no healing taking place in there.
Exactly.
Yeah, no healing.
Yeah,
Everything is
because it
energy.
becomes a virus.
It is. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
virus.
Mm-hmm.
You got that. That's why the church invent binding up and binding up and binding up. You have to elevate. You be in that place. It's like a cesspool. You have to keep raising so high, and then negative, negative, negative. You know. These energies may not be expressed in exactly the same way as the rapist, but rest assured that transmitted consciousness energies do implant a new idea or a new feeling within an innocent party. Your scientists are not prepared to believe in telepathy, but telepathy is a fact of life. Although dull conscious activity may be so self-oriented as to not recognize that new impulses have originated in someone else's mind. I don't know. Telepathy is like talking to someone, but with your mind. I think it is.
Um, oh.
Mm. Talking to somebody with your mind. I know yesterday I was thinking, I'm like, these people, this video, FPV, I haven't seen a video from them. I was just thinking in my mind. And by the time I got home, and by last night, one came, I'm like, oh my God, I was just thinking um, that these people haven't put out a video in a while, and I love their videos. So that could be telepathic too, or someone call you and you'd be like, oh my God, I was just thinking about you. And they
Or
call you.
or
Yeah,
could it be like you thinking about something and I'm thinking the same thing? Like you was thinking about cookies, I'm thinking about cookies, and
that could be it too.
they always
Telepath,
say
yeah, that
they
could be it
always
because it's like a communication with the mind.
okay.
Yeah.
We both thinking the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Great minds think alike.
Great minds think alike. That's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they say. I will say no more on the subject except to warn those in high places of church, law, and government who fail in their responsibility towards people at this critical time. They will eventually perceive the enormity of their lack of moral performance whilst undertaking their earthly duties. They will feel the imprint of their lives of those who have been harmed and destroyed due to the moral negligence rebound upon their own lives. Every action has its repercussion. I was thinking this. I was thinking this. I'm like, these governments that doesn't make preparation for their homeless people, that doesn't make preparation for the sick. It's your duty as a government to take care of your people, not just the rich ones. Which mother have children and she only take care of the ones that is rich or able-bodied?
Well, some you have some,
Yeah, well, we have
but
some, but
most of them don't. Yeah,
yeah, sometimes they like the one that's sick more than the one that's normal.
yeah.
Yeah, the government needs to take care of its people. And it doesn't say just government, churches,
Mm-hmm.
churches. You can't be going to church all these years and putting tithes and you need your rent paid and they want you to pay it back.
Mm-hmm.
There is a price to pay. There is. What we sow, we reap. When you gonna take this responsibility as leaders, we have to know what you have to understand what comes with it. I'm telling you, I was just thinking this last week. If you see, I know it's not down. I lived in Virginia and it was just like that too. Under the bridge, they just laid out.
Mm-hmm.
No home, just in a carriage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Most of the states you go to is like that. Almost
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
Where
No,
you,
they need to take care of their people. They need to take care of people. You want people to vote for you, and you're only looking out for some.
yeah, but it's really bad in Arizona. Arizona is really bad.
Oh yeah, and Cali
Yeah.
was bad too.
Oh my. Boy. Well,
Yeah,
California is right next to Arizona too.
yeah. It was bad. You listen. You can't pay minimum wage, $6 and $7, and rent is $1,800. The math ain't mathing. You know,
Mm-mm. That don't add up.
it doesn't add up. I'm gonna read this one more time. I will not say no more to the subject except to warn those in high places of church, law, and government who fail in their responsibilities towards people at this critical time. They will eventually perceive the enormity of their lack of moral performance whilst undertaking their earthly duties. They will feel the imprint of the lives of those who have been harmed and destroyed due to moral negligence, rebound upon their own lives. Every action has its like repercussions. Perhaps you will now realize why the present sexual trend in the world is causing the most dire conditions worldwide. For you to fully understand what I am talking about, I want you to strive to visualize and realize that the nature of divine consciousness, of universal equilibrium, is limitless power. Since the equilibrium harmony arises out of equal constraint between the universal impulses of the male and female, intelligence of and love, and the will to experience and the will to remain acquiescent, the yearning to be active and the yearning to hold back and maintain the status quo in order to form bonds and stability. The primal impulses of being, as I explained in letter 4, are the reality which has given life, form, shape, being to all visible things. And the primal impulses are electricity and magnetism. That's what we read. These so we read letter 4 last week. This dimension is a state of beauty, joy, harmony, rapturous ecstasy, reverence, intelligence, love. It is all that the earth can demonstrate, but on a scale beyond your even remotest, but on a scale of beyond your even remotest conception. I don't know if we can do that. So it's talking about the universal dimension, is a dimension of beauty, joy, harmony, rapturous ecstasy, reverence, intelligence, love. It is all that the earth can demonstrate, but on a scale beyond your even remotest conception. So he's saying the earth is capable of demonstrating these conditions, love and harmony, and that's in the universal dimension. Try to take in your consciousness the meaning of the two foregoing paragraphs, understanding and making the meaning your very own will change your whole perspective of your divine origins and of existence itself. In these paragraphs directly above, I have described to you the nature and essence of life, which comes into action within the sperm and ovum when they are united in giving form to a child. Essence of life, which come into form within the sperm and the ovum when they are united in giving form to a child. Okay. This is your truth, your reality, your soul, your psyche, your deepest state of being. Instinctively, you are aware of this. The baby is the embodiment of joy. The joy it expresses as it develops consciousness of its relationships and environment comes out of the deep well of divine life, which has grown it cell by cell according to genetic instruction into its present form. So it's just talking about the baby. Baby always a bundle of joy. Joy to everyone. The difference between the soul and the psyche. What is the difference between the soul and the psyche? I am now going to explain the difference which your earthly psychologists may dispute. But nonetheless, this is the truth. The soul is the divine flame, a metaphor used to describe the essence of divine life, which is drawn into individual being at the moment of conception. Conception. I don't know, it came to me that the soul is in the sperm. Life force takes on personal form and releases the energy of electrical force of activity and the magnetic impulses of bonding rejection to embark on the intricate work of construction of the body. Therefore, you have at the core of your being your soul, your divine reality. This is divine intelligence and / divine love. Yeah. So therefore you have
That's your
at the
soul.
core of your being
That's your soul.
your divine, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Therefore, you have at the core of your being, your soul, divine reality. This is divine intelligence slash divine love, which is the powerful divine impulse to create, grow, nourish, nurture, heal, protect, fulfill every need within a system of perfect law and order.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. This is the reality, which is your soul. See what our soul is? Which is powerful divine impulse to create. We can create, grow, nourish, nature, heal,
Mm-hmm.
protect, fulfill every need within a system of perfect law and order. This is the reality, which is your soul. Therefore, when you have overcome the ego impulse and invited the soul to hold dominion in your thoughts and feelings, you will
Mm-hmm.
be driven to express all the divine impulses described above. You will be possessed by a desire to only promote the highest good of all living things and the universe itself. You will have become true messengers from divine consciousness, expressing it all its qualities of being. And we see why we can't our soul, we can't be obedient to our soul. It's because of that ego.
Ego's always in the way.
Always in the way. Always, always in the way. And the goal, we can't get rid of it. We gotta just put it under subjection. We gotta overcome it. We have to. And when we overcome it, that's come our ego. That's when our soul take control. Yeah. So yeah, let me highlight this. This is
Yeah.
what we have to look forward to when we can overcome our ego.
The soul have dominion over our thoughts.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That sums it up. And now if you're online and you see, you'll be like, oh my God, people still just so in their ego. Just so in their ego. Mm, mm.
Yes. So when you're in your ego, you can nourish, you can heal, you
No,
can protect, you
mm-mm,
can nourish, you can grow, you can create.
mm-mm,
Mm-hmm.
can't, can't, can't. You just create just division and chaos because it's just me, 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 me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, satisfy whatever was given to us, all the programs in this matrix. Me, me, I'm better than you, and I'm prettier than you, and I need to hold on to you for me to feel good. I need to let you out of my life, and it's just me, 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 me. Until that time of soul reunification with divine consciousness, the psyche occupies the deepest recess of human consciousness and draws its awareness from your soul. It is the hidden instinct within you which knows right from wrong. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm. It's so until the time of your soul reunification with divine consciousness, the psyche occupies the deepest recesses of your human consciousness and draw its awareness from your soul. It is hidden, it is the hidden instinct within you which knows right from wrong. Which knows right from you. And he's talking about the psyche. I never know what the
Okay.
psyche is really.
Your
Um,
mind?
it's just the mind. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's like the physical aspect of your soul. But you should know, it helps us and knows right from wrong.
But your psyche and your mind is one thing. Your psyche and the soul is two different things.
The soul is different. It's deeper. It's connected to the divine realm. It's really who you really are, right? Your soul is really who you really are. But it says the psyche occupies the deepest recess of your human consciousness.
Yeah, what?
And the soul occupies the spiritual aspect of us, the divine consciousness. Go ahead, sis.
No, because I was gonna say, isn't the psyche the same as the mind or
Yeah,
the spirit?
I would say the psyche is the mind.
Mhm. Yeah, because when you think about psychology, you think about the person who studied the
The
mind.
mind. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you see right here, it says it draws its awareness from your soul.
Yeah.
It's aware, so it has a knowing of what you should and should not do and what you're capable of doing.
Okay.
It is the hidden instinct within you which knows right from wrong.
Mm-hmm.
How many times we say, oh, my mind told me?
Told me, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. My
yeah,
mind said, yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So it draws it's knowing whatever it's aware of from our soul. It knows, you know, it's that hidden thing within us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The ego is also formed at the moment of conception. As the baby develops, the ego begins to make itself felt. It is the foundation of your human selfhood, which gives you individuality. It is the energy of your human consciousness. I've never seen it as the energy of my human consciousness. Human consciousness. We just talk about it. Human, this fleshly aspect of it. All this
Mm-hmm.
ego energy.
Mm-hmm.
We read the characteristics of our ego,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So ego energy is just low vibrational energy. Yeah. It's your human consciousness. It makes you distinct and unique from everyone else. In order to preserve your individuality, the ego must protect you from outside attack of any kind, and it must give you what you need to help you prosper, flourish, grow, and be happy. Yeah, but whatever it's giving you, It's you don't really need. It just thinks it has to. That's the problem with the ego. It's so fleshy. It does not understand that well, it was given to us by our says it was formed when we were during conception, but it's just to satisfy our human consciousness, whatever our human um think we need based on what we've been programmed in this reality.
So is it a fleshly need?
Yeah, the
The flesh?
ego, it just satisfy, and it's so temporary too. Because as soon as you want that car or want that dress, when you get that dress, it's like, oh, what else? You know, it's trying to keep us, as it says before, in balance, keep us in equilibrium. That's what it's trying to do in a fleshy way, in an earthly way. That's what the ego is trying to do. It's trying to protect us because um, this energy is telling our human consciousness or human energy is telling them what you need, and the ego right here can be programmed like how we're programmed in this world. So I'm watching TV. Oh, I want that perfume. Oh, I want what that girl wants right there. What that girl's wearing right there. You know. Oh, I want a husband like that. You know, it's so it's trying to fulfill our needs. But the difference between that and our soul, those aren't the things that makes us happy.
So it's a want. It's a want. It's not a need. It's a
Exactly. It's just a
necessity.
want.
You
Exactly.
just
That's what the
want it.
ego does.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the difference between it and the soul. Oh, when we get what the soul, what get to who we truly are, that's what we'll know that's what we need.
The soul gives you what you need, and ego
Right.
just want,
The wants.
want,
Yeah.
want, want, want.
Yeah. 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 It's all programming for the ego. It's what they show us on TV. It's what our neighbor has. It's what our sister have. It's what this have. It's all, you see what I'm saying? It's not, it
Mm.
has no depth to it. It's just whatever this realm is showing us that is the right thing for us and what will make us happy.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah. There's so much energy at work in this realm. You notice this?
Mm-hmm.
So much energy at work, ego energy,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's just low vibrational energy. Okay. This is divinely ordained and not to be treated with contempt. The ego constitutes an all important and very necessary nucleus of consciousness of creation, development, and growth. The ego is exclusively governed by the electrical current of activity consciousness, the go-go impulse, apparent in all living things, even in plants which turn and display their foliage to catch the sun in the best possible way. This is a movement conceived in the ego electrical field and in the bonding desire emotional field in the consciousness of the plant to enable the plant to grow and enjoy the warmth of the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just saying the ego is divinely ordained. I highlight it. By electrical current of activity, consciousness, the go-go impulses. And this reminded me what we read um about when the Big Bang happened. Oh, the electrical impulse, which represents our Father, um, was just go, 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 create, 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 create. And that's how magnetism came in and be like, no, this, try to slow him down and trying to put a negative with a positive and positive with a negative, and that's mother. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. The ego in every living thing is the seed of the earthly consciousness only. In no way does it resemble in any shape or form the divine reality which constitute the soul. That's what we said earlier, sis.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah. It's only for this realm. The ego drive, the drive which is directed exclusively at getting what it wants to make the individual entity
Yeah.
happy, and to protect it from attack to ensure its
Yeah.
survival, and will trample on other entities or
Yep.
species to achieve its purpose,
Mm-hmm.
pertains to the earthly dimension only. This ego force is active within every living thing, from the least amoeba to the mightiest king. You could
Mm-hmm.
call the ego drive the protector and director of the living universe.
Yeah, the ego is a dictator, all right.
Yeah, it sure is.
It dictate what it wants, not what
Yeah,
it needs, what it wants,
yeah, and
and
it,
have
and
a
it
tantrum.
yeah, and it presumes a lot of things. It try to protect us by assuming. That's the problem with it. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's right, because that's why as we feel attacked, we try to defend ourselves.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's not even, yeah, sometimes people are trying to come against you, and sometimes the ego read it wrong too. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, the ego ready to admit if someone call us pink, the ego ready to be like, what you calling me pink? What?
yeah. It's a war. It means war.
That's
Yeah.
who that ego is.
Mm-hmm.
That dictator.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Just put on a nice dress, and you might say, "Oh, I really look good." Somebody say, "Oh, by the way, that don't even look good on you." Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my gosh. Oh,
Oh, oh,
geez.
hair break loose.
Yeah,
Eh?
yeah.
Oh
That's that
no.
ego. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. And what would the soul do? The soul be like,
I don't
rise
care.
above it. I don't care. I love it. Yeah,
All right, exactly.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the soul would have said. It is at this point that the majority of people in your world today become confused when contemplating the possibility of the existence of God. They review the activities of various species driven by their ego consciousness, the one feeding on another to obtain substance, and these people decide that this savagery must be the working of the Creator. You see what it's saying? That out of the ego, our world, the way the ego works, the way we see how the ego is dominant in our society, we attribute these things to the creator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But it's not even close.
it's not even close, because that's why but sis, you can see that's why we talk about God being um God is the
The
vengeance.
vengeance.
God
God
is
is
vengeance.
this. He gonna
God
get
is,
you.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's not even close to who
Mm-mm.
God is. And now you look at it, you can see how people use the ego to describe who God is based on what they see in this realm, and doesn't know that it's just their ego thoughts, which is only limited to this physical realm. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
And these are the questions. Now you have the young people. Um, when I went on that show that day, this guy had a good question. Although I was trying to tell him that I didn't believe it was meant literally. I just think that story is allegory. I don't remember who it was, sis. When they said God sent somebody to kill all the babies and the women and the children.
Oh, that was in Egypt. Oh, the
Was it
firstborn,
Egypt?
when they killed the firstborn.
No, no, it was a different time he was talking about. It wasn't Egypt, but I do remember the story, but I couldn't remember.
Or was it the time when Jesus was born?
I think he said some, I don't know if it's in David's time or something. I forgot to look it up. But he had a good question because I was saying, listen, I don't, and he's like, but God is awful. God told, I think he said David, I think so, to go and kill the
Um,
woman and the children and the babies and this and that. What kind of God is that? And those are good questions to people who doesn't, you know, but that's not who God is.
mm-mm.
That's just the God someone created to with this ego God. That's that God. God wouldn't be offended by anything we do because he already know we're going to do it. The true God. God is a God of love. I'm going to read this again because this is very important. It says, it is at this point that the majority of people in your world today become confused when contemplating the possibility of the existence of God. They review the activities of various species driven by their ego consciousness, the one feeding on another to obtain sustenance, and those people decide that this savagery must be the working of the Creator. How then can the Creator be a God of love?
Mm.
Mm, yeah, but that's not God. That's not who God is.
And like they would say, like a tsunami come, they'd be like, "Ah, God causing destruction."
Exactly. And the hurricane
Oh,
that God caused it. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, I see. I understand now.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. This is one of the misapprehensions and beliefs I would like to sweep away. It is my purpose that all people should come to realize that the entire universe has at its basic core and foundation in all things the divine life force which inspires and respires through all creation. It is the hidden but powerful equilibrium out of which all things have taken being, form, and shape. It is the scientist's space in which is conducted the movement and bonding of the electrical particles. It is both the impenetrable and forever unknowable ground of existence, and also the hidden source of all substance, of all things in the universe. The ego is the tool of divine creativity to produce individuality out of the unity of its own beingness. What I am about to say will be hotly disputed by your scientists. Nonetheless, I am about to refer to the souls of those earthly beings whose intellect is sufficiently evolved to debate and decide on a course of action, and with even only partial understanding, respond intuitively and intelligently to what is happening in the environment. These entities of all more advanced species are the genius of their kind. Do not judge the inner development of any species, human or otherwise, by their outer physical bodies. All living things are individualized out of the same divine life. All right. Let me say what he's trying to say here. So he says the ego is a tool of divine creativity to produce that gives us our individuality out of the unity of its own beingness. So the divine creative power knew we were gonna come here, and the ego is just our little play tool in this realm. It was given to us by a father. Well, right here he says he wants he's going into something. I am about to refer to the souls of those earthly beings whose intellect is sufficiently evolved to debate and decide on a course of action, and with even only partial understanding, respond intuitively and intelligently to what is happening in the environment. These entities of all more of all more advanced species are the genius of their kind. Do not judge the inner development of any species, human or otherwise, by their outer physical bodies. Okay. Do not judge anything by their outer physical bodies. All living things are individualized out of the same divine life. Yes.
When you say divine life, you mean soul, right?
Um, out of the source of our being, because our soul come from that place too. Out of Father, Mother consciousness, out of universal consciousness, out of that all, that source. All living thing takes their individuality from that source.
Mm-hmm.
Some psyches are enabled by their increasingly spiritualized mental emotional fields to peer through the ego consciousness and embark on neighborly caring acts which can only proceed from the promptings of the soul drawn from that divine reality. Therefore, the greatest respect and consideration should be accorded to all living things. You see, they give psychics a bad name.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, these people are tapping into the spiritual realm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Some psyches are enabled by their increasingly spiritualized mental emotional fields to peer through the ego consciousness and embark on neighborly caring acts which can only proceed from the promptings. So these acts are proceed from the promptings of the soul, drawn from the divine reality. Therefore, the greatest respect and consideration should be accorded to all living things. Wherever the species where the species has evolved to the point of formulating clear ideas and thoughts and putting them into sounds and words, and the spiritual development of the psyche can penetrate the ego consciousness, the psyche begins to question, oh, what is this saying? We just talk about the psyche. And we read that the psyche takes its awareness from the soul. It's knowing from the soul. So this is saying where the species has evolved to the point of formulating clear ideas and thoughts and putting them into sounds and words, and the spiritual development of the psyche can penetrate the ego consciousness, the psyche begins to question, is this all there? Is this all there? Is this all there is to life? What our life purpose?
Hmm.
Oh, okay. So right here is talking about the evolved species, and we could call it those who are raising their consciousness, those who are overcoming their ego consciousness. Basically, these people are. So the psyche, the mind that's taking its awareness of who we are from the soul, um, then you put in your mind and then you begin, listen, I know this ego, I'm trying to overcome this ego. So next your psyche, you're tapping into your psyche, and then you begins to question, is this all there is to life? What are our life purpose, etc.? You start thinking deep. And this is where a lot of people are right now. We call them the conscious community. So, because if you, those who listen, I don't know, it depends on what you listen on TikTok, and then they'll send you these things. A lot of people like, oh, I don't even feel like to go to work, and people like, oh, I know there's something wrong about working. It's just not right, you know. We're going back. What the psyche is letting us go do, realizing that we were taken out of our true nature. The psyche is letting us be aware of who we are because it's tapping into the soul. It gets its awareness from the soul. So the psyche is be like, for those who are being evolved, for those who are raising their consciousness, for those who are overcoming the ego, these are the questions that you hear a lot of those people with.
Mhm.
When this happens, the soul is beginning to impress the psyche with an urgent need to reach out to the source of being, which it instinctively knows does exist and is its true home and resting place. The soul's hidden but continual longing to be reunited with its source of being can now be felt by the psyche. Mm, mm. Okay, let me see this. So when people begins to question all these things, the soul is beginning to impress the psyche with an urgent need to reach out to its source of being, which is instinctively, which it instinctively knows does exist and is its true home and resting place. Oh, so is this saying that the soul is here with us?
That's what I'm reading and thinking
Ah,
like,
because
because is the psyche. which is the mind asking, is this there? The mind is asking the soul.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So yeah, you're on the right path, son, sis, because what the psyche begins to question, because the psyche is getting the information from the soul, which is the true aspect of us.
Mm-hmm.
The psyche begins to question, is this all there is to life? What are our life purpose, etc.? So when this happens, the soul is beginning to impress on the psyche, on the mind, with an urgent need to reach out to its source of being, which it is instinctively knows does exist and is its true home and resting place.
So the mind know that
Right.
the soul is the creator.
Mm.
The
But
soul,
the
because the
soul is
soul,
looking. But why does it says the soul is looking to its source of being? The
uh,
soul.
the soul begin to impress the mind, and
Mm-hmm.
now the mind start to look at the source.
Oh, so the mind is looking out to the source.
The mind is asking the question.
Oh, it's the mind that's asking the question.
Yes.
Ah,
And this, because it said the soul begin to impress the mind with an urgent need.
oh,
So
okay.
you need to reach out to the source.
The source,
The
which is
source.
the soul.
Yes. Which
Okay,
which which the psyche know it exists. It's the home and resting place.
right. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Because remember, the soul is the one that creates. It
Right. The
nourishes.
soul is of the, as it calls it, the source of our being.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. The soul is beginning to impress the psyche with an urgent need to reach out to its source of being.
Mhm.
Okay. Which it instinctively knows does exist. And that means um,
The mind knows.
the mind knows, and it is true home and resting place.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That the source of the mind know that the source of our being is our true home
It's our
and
true home and
place.
resting place. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for clearing that up, sis.
Yeah.
Yeah. The soul's hidden, but continual longing to be reunited with its source of being can now be felt by the psyche.
Ah.
Ah, I like that too.
Mm-hmm.
So the psyche is feeling that it needs to be connected to the soul.
This, yeah, it does. The mind know the soul. The
Yeah,
soul has everything.
yeah, yeah, can now be felt by the psyche. So, okay, so the soul can only impress upon the psyche because it can't impress upon the ego because the ego is too physical.
Well, I think the ego and the mind is the same.
You think? I
Yeah.
think the ego can't feel the impression of the soul. It's too worldly. It's just um
The ego and the mind, not the soul.
the psyche.
which is the mind.
Yeah. Uh, I think you get to you hear your psyche when you overcome the ego though. You can only hear your psyche when, because remember it says um when you start asking these questions, is this all there is to life?
So that's
What
when you
are your
start
life
soul
purpose?
searching.
Huh?
You're soul searching.
Yeah, you're soul searching, but you only start soul searching when you get over the ego consciousness.
Well, that's the mind soul searching. The mind is searching the soul. That's my understanding.
Ah, but all right, let's read here and see. Where the species are evolved, you only start evolving when you understand that you're at where you're at because of your ego. You start talking about the evolve to the point of formulating clear ideas and thoughts and putting them into sounds and words. And the spiritual development of the psyche can penetrate the ego consciousness. You see here? The
Your
psyche,
mind, yeah,
yes.
your mind can penetrate your consciousness.
Yeah, so we're talking about the mind, but
Yeah.
it says only when you're spiritually developed, when your mind is spiritually developed, then seriously, and the spiritual development of the psyche can penetrate. Uh, what was that? Yeah, the spiritual development of the psyche can penetrate the ego consciousness. You see what I'm saying here, sis? The psyche begins to question. So there has to be some growth that has to take place. You have to leave the ego for your psyche to start questioning, because remember, the psyche is taking everything it knows from the it's not just it's what happening to the psyche. It's getting its awareness from the soul. The soul is impressing on the psyche. So it's like the psyche is the intermediary between the soul and the ego.
Okay.
It's when the ego and all what the ego doesn't appeal to you anymore. So the psyche, your mind start looking and be like, this ego thing's not from these. There has to be something more to life than what I've been living all these years. So
That's
you start evolving. So that's your mind start evolving. But before you get to that place, you have to get out of your ego.
I think that's what they call soul searching. When you start searching to
Yeah,
find out who am I? What am I supposed to be doing? What
yeah,
is
but we
my
can't.
purpose?
Yeah, but we can't see it in ourselves. We can't use ourselves. We were out there just like everyone in the ego, in our ego, and doing all this and that, and it doesn't appeal to us anymore. So that's why we're here. That's why we're here where we are right now, and saying um, this. There's more to life than how I've been living. So it's just our soul. We might call it psyche, but it's still our soul until we get deeper. Our soul imprinting on our mind. We're crying out. So our soul imprinting on our mind, um, that yeah, there's more. The ego, you have put your ego under subjection, and now your mind, your soul is taking over. Your mind, they'll call it your psyche, your mind is taking over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So when this happens, the soul is beginning to impress the psyche with an urgent need to reach out to its source of being. So when you ask all that, because your soul know everything that's going on. So when you start asking those questions, that means your ego is under subjection. The soul is beginning to impress the psyche with an urgent need to reach out to its source of being, which it instinctively knows does exist, and it is the true home and resting place. The soul's hidden but continual longing to be reunited with its source of being can now be felt by the psyche, by the mind.
So that's when the mind start thinking, asking questions.
Well, it started before this. It
Yeah,
started when it started asking questions. After you be like, this ego thing's not for me. There's more to life than this.
but the soul already know. The soul know who it is.
Yes, so the soul imprint on your mind,
Yeah, it
and
gives
you
the
begin to
impression.
feel, yeah,
So the soul gives the mind a nudge, like,
yeah,
hey, I know who I
yeah.
am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the soul is nudging the mind of who we truly are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the soul is hidden. Mm, okay. All right, let's see what else it said. If there are people who never reach the vital development in their lives, it is because their ego, mental, emotional process are so strongly geared to the exercise of intelligence and reason that when other people ask questions such as, how did life begin? Is there a God? Okay, anyway. If there are people who never reach its vital development in their lives, it is because their ego, their mental slash emotional process are so strongly geared to the exercise of intelligence and reason that when other people ask questions such as, how did life begin? Is there a God? Oh, has such a wonderful universe been designed and created? The ego of the non-seeker and the non-believer is conscious only of its own omnipotence and sets out to disprove there is any higher dimension out of which the earth could have taken form. It argues away the voice of the soul relayed through the psyche, and with each argument entombs itself more firmly within the perception of the material and visible world, which represent their only security. All right, so you see how he answers all the questions here that we've been asking, sis. So is saying if people haven't reached that development mind, if you're still in your ego,
Uh-huh.
If you're still only think the earth is your only reality,
Right.
right? And someone asks you, how did life begin? Is there a God? This is when you're in your ego consciousness. When you're in
Mhm.
your ego consciousness, you can't even hear the psyche. Um, Psyche is what, and this is new to me, is what our soul imprints in our mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's our soul
Telling the mind.
telling the
What
mind
to say.
that, listen, we have to go back to who we are. And he's saying, if you're still at the place where you can't hear your psyche, where you're still in your ego, when someone asks you, how did life begin? Is there a God? How has such a wonderful universe been designed and created? The ego of the non-seeker and non-believer is conscious only of its own omnipotence and sets out to disprove there is any higher dimension out of which the earth could have taken form. So when you're in your ego consciousness, you're only aware of this realm. You don't think there's anywhere else than earth.
Yeah, because they don't have any they don't they're not thinking of unlimited powers. They're only
No,
thinking like right here and now.
exactly. That's those people who are still in their ego. Yeah. It argued, so yeah, it sets out to disprove there's any higher dimension out of which the earth could have taken form. It argues away the voice of the soul. You see, when you're in your ego, you don't hear the voice of the soul. You don't hear your mind talking to you. You don't
No.
hear that mind.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so it argues away the voice of the soul relayed through the psyche, and with each argument entombs itself more firmly within the perception of the material and visible world, which represent their only security. So this is another characteristics of people who are in their ego consciousness. They don't see nothing in other than this visible and material world. They don't think nothing is beyond this world. I remember when I went on that platform, they were like, "Oh, what's your source? Is it peer reviewed?"
Mm.
You know, because they can't understand that there's a spiritual realm that can tell us everything. That's your source. That is your source.
Mm.
You know, that is your peer reviewed, whatever your soul is imprinting on your psyche. What can be more than that? You know, but they
So
don't
it's only what they see they believe.
exactly whatever they see and whatever their eyes show them,
Uh-huh.
and whatever we were taught in school and all that.
Okay.
And that's a lot of our family members too. So in order for them to hear what their psyche is saying,
The soul has to impress it.
yeah, and they have to allow it.
Mm.
Yeah. Therefore, the soul remains imprisoned within the ego mental, emotional, electrical, magnetic chains, and the human mind remains convinced that there is no soul, and the earthly dimension of existence and the physical life force are the only realities. So we see what's happening, sis.
Mm-hmm.
Their soul are imprisoned.
Yep.
And this is the free will that everyone talks about. You have to want that change. You have to come to that knowing that there has to be more than this.
What?
To allow to free your soul.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you never come to that knowledge, your soul remains imprisoned until you leave this world and go back. And your soul gonna be like, "What's up, man? Really, really?
Mm-hmm.
All that BS you've been talking? What's that soul? No, we can't evolve. No, we gotta stay here. No, we gotta go somewhere else
Mm-hmm.
to learn this, huh?" That's why your soul gonna be like, "Really?" I'm just making fun of that. But if that was, you know, like, what's up? All that BS you've been on the on TikTok and YouTube and talking, having me in prisons. You never once seek my advice. You never once seek my direction, huh? I can't believe you only think that the earth is the only existence, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine? When some of us go back to our soul, our soul gonna have, because that's the thing that lives on. The body stays here. We
Mm-hmm.
understand that the body stays here. Okay. Therefore, the soul remains imprisoned within the ego, mental, emotional, electrical, magnetic chains. Oh. And the human mind remains convinced that there is no soul, and the
Mm-hmm.
earthly dimension of existence and the physical life force are the only reality. Mm-mm-mm-mm. How many people think like this?
A bunch.
Yeah. If such people's minds are determined to reject any inspirational whispers from the psyche slash soul, the body suffers minor ailments.
All right.
Oh my God.
All
Oh my
right.
God. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Wow, 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 wow. If such people minds are determined to reject any inspirational whispers from the psyche slash soul, the body suffer minor ailments,
Mm-hmm.
relationships are strained, and life generally is stressful. A
And what?
disease may follow. This
Ah.
is because such a person is drawing only on the limited resources of energy drawn from the food they put in their mouths.
Mm.
This energy proceeds from a chemical process and not from the source of all life. Oh my gosh.
Read that again.
Oh my gosh. We
Pull
need
up,
a
pull up,
loudspeaker.
pull
Uh,
up, pull
Oh
up,
my, oh my gosh. All on pull up selector.
pull up.
Wow, 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 wow. Mm-mm-mm-mm. All right. All right. As someone would say, let me fix my wig. Let me fix my wig.
Now let me clear my throat.
Oh my God. What? 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 Oh, oh my gosh.
There it is.
There it is. There it is.
That is it. That
Yep.
is it.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
Let me take a sip. My gosh. Mm.
I need to sip on that.
Wow. Mm-mm. Mm.
Woo.
Wow,
Yo,
wow,
yo,
wow, 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 wow.
oy, oy.
This is food. Mm.
This is wake up. This a
Wake
wake
up,
up.
wake up, wake
This
up.
a
This,
wake up right here.
mm. Now we know why we
Jaja,
get sick. Now we know why we have all those things riding in our bodies.
jaja.
Yeah. So
Mm-mm.
if, let me start. So if you are those people who think Earth is the only reality, if you think the earthly dimension of existence and the physical life force are the only realities, if you do not understand that you have a soul who's trying to send you messages, but you're so caught up in this 3D world, you're so caught up in this 3D matrix. What's another name I could call it?
Call it ego in
Are
your
you're so
ego,
caught up in your ego,
yourself.
in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The body suffers minor ailments.
Now you wonder why people have arthritis.
Yeah.
They have this, they
That,
have that, they have headache, they have.
mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
that
You're
explains
not
it.
exactly. You're not getting anything from the spiritual realm. You're cutting off. You're totally blocking it.
And then when you stress, you have disease.
And you have disease. Oh my gosh, you remember that video we watched when the lady who had cancer and died and came back?
She had
She's
information.
Yes, she said the same thing. Her
Mhm.
soul, I'm not sure if she said her soul. I'm not gonna say it, but she said whoever told her that when she goes back, she must allow the energy to move through her body.
Mhm.
She blocked it by the way she was acting like she better than that, she's all this and she's all that. And that was what caused the cancer in her body.
Mhm. But it. I mean, you know, and I know that information about all disease. Every. I mean, that's a known fact. Once you have information in your body, you have disease. That's how it starts.
Yeah, and you have, yeah, dis-ease. Yeah,
Your
you
body
have that
is no longer at
dis-ease.
ease.
Yeah,
It's no longer at ease.
yeah.
Yeah,
And because your body is not at ease
it's
because
your
you're not
mind.
allowing your psyche, your soul
Mm-hmm.
to flow through you. You're
Mm-hmm.
blocking it. You're blocking that energy. And your soul is who you really are.
Yes. I
This is
mean,
who you really are.
you've been saying it for over a year.
Yes. Yes. That's the cause of our disease. And I can see it in me. I knew that's what caused some of my disease.
Yep.
For those who out there who have a stomach, and when I went and the doctor was like, "Oh, your gallbladder is all filled with all the stuff. I have to take it out." I was in
Mm.
so much pain, busy running the church every day, you know.
Information, stress,
Yeah,
cause
stress, all
stress,
kind of things.
stress. Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're drawing, as it says, this is because such a person is drawing only
Energy,
limited
resource, and
resources
it's
of
from
energy
the
drawn
food
from the
you eat.
food they put in your mouth.
Exactly. Exactly. Because your food is your energy. That's why we supposed to eat vegetable and fruits with seed. We're not supposed to eat processed food, meat, all that. No, sugar, all that. No. See, it's right there. You see it? It's right there. Mm-hmm. We
Yeah,
kill our own bodies.
yeah.
We destroy our own bodies by what we eat.
Mm-hmm. And the food is just part of it. The food is
The,
just part of it.
but
This is,
the food gives you energy.
but it's limited energy,
W-
limited resources of energy drawn from the food they put in their mouths. So we need both. We need the food, good food, and we need our soul
Yeah.
energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it says, because I was gonna I forgot to talk about that today too. Bless everything. Bless all your food. I know I used to struggle, but I'm making an effort to bless my food. And when you bless your food and you eat it, sometimes you immediately goes to the bathroom. Immediately, because you have to get that waste out of you.
The old ways, the
Yeah.
old stuff. Mm-hmm.
Especially if you go to fast food place, bless it, and I tell my soul, my higher self, please, let only the good energy. Let me tell you, you have a lot of people cooking your food that has bad energy. You
Yeah.
know these
Yeah.
people.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. A
Yeah,
lot of people cook with bad energy.
bad
Of
energy.
course.
And my grandmother used to, if you ever come in her kitchen and she's cooking with any bad energy, you
Don't
leave it.
touch the food.
Don't
Uh-huh.
touch that food.
Yeah.
When you go to
Mm-hmm.
these fast food restaurants and all that, there's a lot of people, and we're not hating on anybody. We all have bad things going in our lives, but
First.
we just personal things going on in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we have to protect ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Bless your food, that when you bless it, the good energy from the food is digestible and the bad energy is passed out. And that happens and keep happening. If I go to Dunkin' Donut, I bless it. If you
Well,
saw me, yeah, bless everything.
you don't even have to go out. Your spouse can come home and be like, babe, can you make me a sandwich? And you're tired. You go in the kitchen, you slam the bread, you
Oh,
slam
oh,
the
oh,
mayonnaise, you
oh,
slam this, you know,
oh.
then when you finish, you just slam it on the table right here.
Yeah.
That's bad energy.
And then you wonder why your marriage is all in shambles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd be like, oh, my husband acting up. That's that energy. If you
Mm-hmm.
can't do it, don't do it. Even if I'm cooking, the husband come on with bad energy. I don't even answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't even answer.
Even if you get a glass of water, they be like, here.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
all you do,
Mhm.
you want the water, just bless it. If you want the water real bad, just bless it.
Water carry energy.
Oh, water is the most powerful.
Water has power.
That's why you can bless water. Water is powerful.
Yeah, water
Powerful.
takes form. It
Yeah.
takes form.
It takes any form. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you speak to it, it's just speak to it. All right. This is so much. All right.
Yep.
So, yeah. So don't just depend on the food that we eat to give us energy. We also have to depend on the energy that comes from our soul, our psyche.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this energy proceeds from a chemical process and not from the source of all life. And the source of all life, that's where your soul is. Whilst you have drawn your life initially from the divine reality and it has given you being, you also draw your physical energy from your food and the digestive process, which manufacture enzyme to break down the food into usable form, which feeds the physical cells throughout your body and mind. This is the life of the body. Many people live and die drawing exclusively on the energy derived from their physical process. The type and amount of energy drawn from physical process is greatly affected by the mental, electrical, and emotional magnetic fields of the living entity. And that's just what we just said. We just talked about.
That negative energy.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So when someone's this process, this food and everything, there's a lot of things going to making it. There's a lot of energy, negative, bad, good, and different. Um, so you can't depend on this energy, this process only.
I mean, like, we're supposed to get our fruits directly from the tree and eat.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
They don't even make fruit tree. Growing up, we knew what that was. Growing up in the islands,
You
we
go
had
eat banana off the tree. You
off
go
the
eat
tree. Yeah.
tree. You eat plums off the tree, orange off the tree, lime off the tree, cherries off the tree, plums off the tree. Yeah. Your watermelon off the vine, your tomatoes off the vine, your
Hmm.
peppers off the vine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how we should live. And now you understand why they mess with our food, sis. You
The
see how everything
energy. The energy.
energy,
Yeah.
energy,
Mm-hmm.
energy. So they're lowering, and that's why if anybody tell you anything, energy is everything.
Mm-hmm.
They're lowering our energy in the food and messing with our water too. We don't talk about that much. They mess
Uh-huh.
with the water. And also, they're also messing with the energy that we're supposed to get from our psyche.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been attacked in so many different ways. Yes, now you understand why they mess with our food. That's why so many sickness and disease.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The type and amount of energy drawn from physical process, that's from us chewing and eating the food, is greatly affected by the mental, electrical, and magnetic fields of the living entity.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are low vibrational too and eating all this food, you're getting less energy.
You're not getting any energy.
Barely minimum.
You're not getting none.
Yeah. So energy is currency. Energy is currency. That's the money. That's the money we need. That's the money we need. I'm going to stop here. We'll continue on personal life force. This is so good, so good, so good. Sometimes we want to read all night. Sometime I tell you,
I
this
know,
is,
right?
yeah, it's so good. But 2 hours is a long video for somebody to watch. So yeah, we'll continue. Maybe we'll do it on Thursday. Continue on Thursday with
Okay.
this. Yes, this is real good. All right, all right. Remember, if you don't get anything from tonight, please don't think this material world that we see is the only thing in this world. Please, that your physical self, there's nothing, when you look in the mirror, that is all. That's not all. That's not all. Please, what we've physically seen in this, it's just for this round. We leave it and go home. We do not die. Some people think only some people go into heaven. We all are going back. We're energy beings. We do not die. We're all going back. But while we're here, we can live heaven on earth by understanding who we are. Our soul, the true aspect of us, daily send impulses, and we have our soul imprisoned. We have our soul imprisoned by our belief that this is the only realm, that this is it or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's imprisoning the true aspect of you. You're going to go back and answer to that person. You're going to go back and he or she, or I don't think, whatever. But what's up? What's up, Debbie? What was that about? She's going to ask you. Really? You went down there to grow, to evolve, and you only think and you only thought that was the only existence? Nothing exists outside of the earth? Huh? And we see the repercussion of of believing such an atrocity is
Mm-hmm.
sickness.
Mm-hmm.
Sickness, all that impulse that they're sending to us, your soul is imprinting on you. The ringing of the ear, please. A lot of us say, oh, my mind told me. After it happened, oh, I should have listened, follow my mind. How many of
Mm-hmm.
us said that?
All of us.
All of us said that. Oh my God, I should have listened to my mind. And
Yep.
those of us who have ringing in the ear, our ears keep ringing all the time. Sit and listen a little. Let your let that divine energy flows through your body. Some of us say, oh, a twitch in my arm, you know, little nudges or so. Let us be aware and know that there's a higher being, a higher part of us, the all-knowing self. That's the one who's sitting at the right hand of God. We talk about Jesus, that's your soul, sitting at the right hand of God, interceding on your behalf daily.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, the scripture tells us of ourselves we can't do nothing. So allow that energy to flow through us. Because if we have it bound, so we will be bound. Why the use you on this earth if you're not going to listen to your soul? Then you get sickness and just have to leave. All right? And the food you eat, bless your food, please. Bless it. Bless it. Bless your food. All right. Anything you want to say before we close this?
Oh no, I'm just thinking, I'm just reflecting on that statement.
Yes. 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 All right. Father, we thank you. Father, Mother, God, we thank you tonight. We thank you for these words that came forward to bless us, to give us knowledge of self and knowledge of who we are. Father, we thank you for my sister here and for the knowledge you've poured into her to be an enlightenment to me and everyone that's listening tonight. I thank you for those who are on this platform and those who will be listening at a later time, that we
Mhm.
all can come to the knowledge of self and see the cause of our illnesses, the cause of our lack in any form, and know that just by renewing our mind and our thoughts and our
Yeah.
emotions,
Yeah.
we can have this heaven on earth. So, Father, with Mother God, we thank you tonight. Thank you. Thank you. We are grateful for the
Yeah.
opportunity to
Yeah.
be here, knowing that we're not just here of ourselves or for ourselves. We're here for a divine purpose, that by listening to us and by this platform, we're sending out good energy in our community, in our homes, and into the wider world at large. Father, we thank you. We thank you always, Father, Mother God, that creative power within us, around us, and everywhere. We are grateful. We are grateful tonight. So we ask for your continual blessing in every area of our lives. You said you know our needs and our wants before we even ask, and we're open to receive what you have in store for us. Bless us as we go. Bless our homes. Bless our families. Bless our communities. We give you
Yeah.
all the honor and the glory and the praise. And we thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Lord.
you.
Thank
Mm,
you. Thank you.
mm,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
That's some good knowledge
Some
tonight.
good knowledge. Ooh, never heard
Yeah.
about the psyche. Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's beautiful. 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 Wow, 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 wow. Oh, ooh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. This.
I have
Oh,
to
you
go
know
back
what I'm
and
thinking
listen.
about? The psyche. I wonder if it's also the spirit.
It could be
Yeah, it could be the spirit.
the mind, the
Yeah,
spirit.
yeah. It
Could,
making it, and some, you remember they used to say in church, the spirit make intercession for us.
yes.
It's that intercession between us and who we truly are.
Mhm.
Yeah. Uh,
Because some people will say, "My mind told me," or "my
mm-hmm.
said."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
could be both.
It could be both, yes. I think we put too much stock into names. I think the spiritual realm, um, like we call God this and that. Like, we can call him whatever we want, Mother God. It doesn't even matter. It's just energy, good energy coming from you. That's what matters.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. But just we're human beings, and I was just thinking, yeah. All right, sis. All right.
Okay, my dear, very good. Tonight was excellent.
Yes, yes.
Excellent.
We every
Yeah.
every night we learn something different. I'm like, my gosh.
Mhm.
Yeah, every night we learn, and that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, sis. Have a blessed
Okay,
night.
my dear, have a wonderful night.
You too.
All right. Okay.